All right, everyone. Hey, it's me, Matt Slick. I am sitting right here waiting for your calls. Why don't you give me a call, 877-207-2276. I'm sitting right here. We open lines.
This is Matt Slick Live with your host, Matt Slick,
my hero,
founder of CARM.org, the Christian Apologetics Research Ministry. Call now with your questions, Bible questions, God questions, hard questions. Toll free across the nation, 877-207-2276. That's 877-207-2276. No fluff, straight answers. And now your full contact theologian. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, everyone. Wow, a little frog in my throat. So, how are y'all feeling after the election? I was surprised. I did not think that... I thought that the horrible Hillary would make it in. Yeah, I know, I'm going to offend people. I don't care. I can't vote for somebody who's going to open the borders without discretion, just open them up for everybody to come in and invade our country. I don't think it's a good idea. That's what Hillary wanted to do. She's for late-term abortion. She wants to kill the babies. And then she says she's for family values. The hypocrisy is there. That's just incredible. Don't forget the email debacle. I've heard people talk who said if they had done half of what she'd done, they'd already been in jail. Just stuff. The fact that she almost made it in just is horrible. Clinton, excuse me, he's not any better. I mean, Clinton. I'm thinking two things at once. Trump's not that much better anyway. Sorry, got things going on here. So he's not much better. But at least Hillary didn't get in. I didn't vote for either one, just to let you guys know. I don't have any dog in this fight on this issue. It's just that, it's just bad news. But at any rate, hopefully some good things will happen. Hopefully things will work out better, and we'll just see what's going to happen in our politics and stuff like that. Okay, if you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. Let's get to Andrew right away. Hey, Andrew. Are you there? Andrew? Just lost him? I'm going to tell you real fast, folks. Andrew's a friend of mine. He works in New Jersey. He does the kind of thing that I do. And I just thought it'd be nice to help him out a little bit and share his ministry, what he does. Have him call in. And so he teaches on cults like I do and theology like I do and hermeneutics like I do and stuff like that. And he has a website, strivingforeternity.com, I think it is, or is it .org. Are you there, Andrew?
Yes, I am.
Hey, man, how you doing, buddy?
Both .com and .org.
Okay, good. Yeah. So how you doing?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to seeing you not too long.
That's right.
You got a birthday coming up.
Yeah, I turned 60 a month from today.
You turned 70, right? 70.
Yeah, right.
70, I think it is.
Yeah, 60 a month from today, and we're having a shindig here. So if people want to go, you got to let me know. You got to email. It's a surprise party. I mean, I'm having trouble talking today. It's a costume party. Man, I don't know what it is. I got a lot in my head, so a lot going on. So anyway, let's talk about Striving for Eternity, which is rather synergistic soteriologically. So go ahead, pick up the ball and run with that one.
That's only if you believe that everything is around the gospel and that no discipleship should ever happen.
No discipleship, that's right. I got a call from a guy today about that. I actually got a call from a Russian guy who was looking about stuff about discipling. It was really interesting, but I'm glad you mentioned that. But so what do you do? What's your ministry? Come on, fill me in really fast. What is your ministry?
Well, the ministry is really about discipleship, and we do it in a lot of different ways. One is we have an online academy where we have about 70-some lessons on systematic theology. We have classes on how to interpret the Bible, classes on world religions and cults. We have a class on discipleship. And unlike the CARM has a school, which is outstanding. Ours is video-based. And
right.
So we have video and syllabus where CARM's is really – the nice thing about both is you can go on your own pace.
Right.
But we kind of realize that people are more video-oriented, and we do it that way. We also have conferences where we train people to – we have a conference. It's not always on evangelism, but we train people to evangelize, then take them out. And we use the conference to kind of gather folks. You've spoken at several of them.
That's right.
And then we have seminars we do. We come into churches on a weekend. We call them Bible Interpretation Made Easy seminars. Come in for a weekend, teach people in 8 hours, 6 sessions, how to interpret the Bible. And that's a big thing that we really try to encourage, because I think that's the biggest lack in the church today, is people understanding how to actually interpret the Bible. And so that's a big need. And so that's why we come into churches. And one of the things we do a little different is we really rely on monthly supporters. And so we don't care about church size or attendance. One of the things I feel strongly about is being able to reach the smaller churches that no one else will go to. Because most of the big-name speakers want to go to, bigger churches with big audiences. We don't care if it's 25 people. We don't care if it's 1,000 people. We just want to bring God's word to people that want to learn it. So, and a new thing that we're doing, which you're all kind of a part of, is we disciple other ministries. And so two of the ministries that we're working with and discipling them as they're developing their ministry. One's Bible Thumping Wingnut, which you're on there every Sunday night on their Google Hangouts, Slick Answers, Sunday nights. And then the other is Creation Revival, a ministry trying to teach people how to train others on creation and evangelism.
Good.
So we do ministry, we do discipleship in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, because one of the things I like about you, there's not that many, but at least one of the things I like about you is you have a heart for the Lord. And we went out to New York, what was it, about 3-4 years ago, and we did open air, where was it, Union Square?
I think that's more like 5 years ago.
Was it really?
5 or 6, yeah. Was that the time we had the hurricane, and you and I had to exit? Like I had to exit New York before they closed all the bridges and tunnels, and you were kind of trapped in New York.
I don't know. I think I've been there. I'm trying to remember once or twice. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I spoke out there at Jersey Fire or something like that, and we went in and we did some open air at Union Square. I was out there before speaking at a Chinese thing years before, a little bit before that, when the big hurricane came through years ago.
Yeah, I think that was at the Chinese. I think that was with the Chinese thing, and which was we went into New York, and you were, and if any of your listeners don't know, what you're no different on the street than you are on the radio. I mean, you walked into Union Square Park, a place where you always can get a crowd, and you had a shirt that said, "Ask me your toughest question about God and the Bible." And I was like, Matt, you're not even going to get off the subway into the square with that shirt on. And sure enough, you got stopped by like 3 people. Like, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm. That's before we even got there. But
that was before. It took us 40 minutes, and a guy that's in your area in Boise, Sean the Baptist, Sean Holes, he's an open air preacher. He travels out this way, and I get to preach with him in New York quite a bit. And he was just holding the crowd until you got there.
That was fun, actually. I haven't preached like that in a long time.
Yeah.
But that was fun. That was right next to the place where that big counter goes that shows our national debt. And you can see the smoke.
It's not the national debt. It's actually, that's the thing that fools people. It's not the national debt. It's actually it's a clock. And the way that clock works is that one part of the clock runs from the time since midnight, and one is counting till midnight. So one counts up, one counts down. That's what confuses people. If you're there like I am, preaching until 12 o'clock at night, you actually see it hit all zeros. But yeah, it's actually a clock. Yeah, it really confuses people. It's fun. It's a thing that I usually to see when I'm open air. I'll use that as an opening. See how many people even know what that is.
All I know is a big clock, and you see it. That's got to be our debt, because we have people in office who don't care about things. They're socialistic Marxists, and so they just run up debt, hoping somebody else will pay for it. That's communism, socialism. Not my problem. Let's just tax everybody else and make them pay for what I want to do. And then when they don't get what our way, we'll cry. Diaperinians.
Well,
so
I am. We just had the election, right?
Yeah.
I'm greatly discouraged at seeing the people when Obama got elected. How many Christians were just like in a depression? And now I see these Christians that, even though we got a guy that wouldn't hold our values, people are jumping up and down. And now you see, on campuses across the country, they're having, mourning and grief counseling. I'm like, you folks really got problems because you're across the board, way too many people are putting trust in government and not in Christ.
Absolutely. You got that right. I was trying to do a video today on that very thing, and just didn't have time. I got too many issues, too many things going on. I got to teach Bible study tonight and stuff like that. But nevertheless, how can people get a hold of you? StrivingForEternity.
StrivingForEternity.org is the best way. We have there, they could find out about the Academy. They could find out about if they want to go under the Contact Us, there's a way to contact me to speak at conferences. There's a way to contact us to have us do one of the Bible Interpretation Made Easy seminars.
Yeah, you're going to be out here too, so if people want you to do that. That'll be December 9th, 10th, 11th.
I'll be out your way December 8th.
Okay.
Yeah, the 8th to the 11th, I think, or 8th to the 12th, I'll be out your way. So looking forward to that. And, yeah, I don't have anywhere scheduled to preach that Sunday. So
I'm going to give one more plug, though, because you are trying to do the same thing I did a while back, that is raise money for a new computer. And you've been pushing yours to the limit like I always push mine. But you got was it a GoFundMe thing or what?
Well, it's actually You Caring, and the reason we did that one is because You Caring is because, yeah.
Oh, YouCaring.com,
You Caring
you
actually
mean?
doesn't take money out.
Oh, okay. I had Asperger's, I don't care.
YouCaring.com, they don't take, GoFundMe actually takes money not just from from the credit card, but also for to charge you for it, where You Caring lets your people who donate choose if they want to give a donation or not. But You Caring /SFE, that's short for Striving for Eternity _equipment. And basically, I have our equipment's about 8-9 years old. I've pushed it to its limits. I can't put any more memory in it. I can't put any more.
And I even helped you.
I've got a.
I did. I helped you. I'm a computer tech. I'm an ex-computer tech. I tried to help you out and help it so it runs a little bit better. You're at your limit. You need a new one.
I'm at the limit, and we want to really redo the way we're doing our academy classes. What we're looking to do is actually a certificate program, and we have a plan. We got a schedule. We're actually going to want to go in and do video editing. Go into a studio, not just me and the camera, but really do it right. Get it in a studio and do editing. But with our equipment, we just can't do the editing. And the reason I think that those classes are so important is we have people in China. We're training up 5 pastors in China right now.
Cool.
That I know of, because they can't get seminary level education. But the thing is that we're not only teaching people at a seminary level. I try to teach seminary level stuff, but I try to teach it in a way that we have, which this is what surprised me with our academy. We have a lot of junior high and high school homeschoolers that are through our academy. And the reason is because for some reason the students pay attention. The parents tell me that their kids pay attention. Either it's my quirky humor, but they understand the material. And one of the things I'm always doing, like when you preach, Matt, you're always, in every sermon that I've ever heard from you, you will bring in some element of theology into a sermon.
Right.
Well, I'm kind of doing the same thing.
Copycat.
But what I'm trying to always do is trying to define our terms so that no matter what level we are, we all get to, if we use some big terminology, big word in Latin that no one understands, don't know anyone that would do things like that. But if we did have someone like that,
who would that be?
To define, I like to define those terms. So if I'm going to use a term like hypostatic union, I'm going to explain that the hypostatic union is the fact that the union between the divine nature and the human nature. Christ had 2 natures. So because of that, even junior high kids can understand the lessons, but they're actually getting seminary level education.
Yes, they are.
And this is stuff that's going on. We have pastors in India. We have people we're actually covered on every continent except Antarctica. And we're in about 17 countries that we have regular students that take our classes. And we're training them up where they don't have this kind of education, but we want to really raise the bar and really do it much, much better production, but we can't do it without some better equipment.
Amen to that. Well, I hope it works, man.
So
hope it does.
YouCaring.com /SFE_equipment, or you can just contact us at strivingforeternity.org, and we can give you the links and tell you how to. There's a donate page there if anyone wants to donate.
Well, yeah, I recommend people support you too, because you're a good guy, man. Seriously, do good work.
Yeah, well, we're trying. We're trying to keep up with guys like you.
Yeah, right.
You're just keeping too busy.
Yeah, I'm way too busy. I got so much to do. I have to teach myself video editing, audio stuff. I am now doing camera work and framing, lighting, the whole bit. And then I had to teach myself yesterday how to take 3 videos, put them into the system, and then make sure that each one works, fades in and out, and synced and everything. I teach myself how to do that inside of Vegas Pro 13. And it took a while. So
now, see, if you had a Mac, you could do it with one button. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, people tell me that, but all I know is people are having trouble with their Macs as well. I prefer PCs, and I got PCs all over the house.
The advantage you have is that you and I, having backgrounds in computers, we know how to rip them apart, rebuild them,
right,
and get them working again. Macs, you can't do that.
No, I prefer PC over Mac any day. That's right. Anyway, so there you go, buddy. Hope things are going to improve for you in that respect to get some good stuff going. All right.
Yeah. And if you know of anyone that is looking for someone to be preaching that weekend of your birthday, they can feel free to just contact us, and we'll, I will be out there, and I don't get out your way too often.
Yeah.
So.
No, you don't. But all right, sounds good, buddy.
All right. Good talking with you.
All right, Andrew. God bless. Thanks a lot, man.
God bless. Bye.
Okay. That was Andrew Rappaport. And if you want to give me a call, folks, all you got to do is dial 877-207-2276. We got open lines right now. Also, you can get in via Skype, carm.org. And, of course, you can get in direct line 208-377-3790. Now, we got nobody waiting on the line right now, I guess. And by the way, 2 things just to let you know. Tonight, I'll be teaching a Bible study through the Gospel of John. We're going to be continuing through the Gospel of John. And what I've got there, let me see. We're going to be starting in John 3:18, because last week we got through 2 verses. For real. John 3:18, and that's he who believes in him is not judged. He who does not believe has been judged already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And we'll be going through that, talking about that, what that is, as well as the rest of the verses up through about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, depending on how fast we go. People ask a lot of questions, and that's where it's nice about the class. I think it's a good idea, is that in the class that I teach, I don't mind tangents. We get off topic, then we get off topic. If people are interested, we go that direction. And that's what happened last week. It was great. People were enjoying it. We take a break, and then what we do is just continue. And we have chalkboards behind me. So now I use chalkboards, write some Greek out there, and do things about logic, write verses out so people can copy them down. People like that a lot. So anyway, if you are interested in attending tonight, which is Wednesday, the 9th, all you got to do is go to 1400 North Cole Road. That's at the corner of Fairview and Cole. It's not too far from the mall there. It's that street that's on the east side of the mall. Just go to that street, go north, and about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, right-hand side, next to the Albertsons there, Cole and Fairview. And it's at the Well Church. In the back, you have to go in the back, okay? A lot of people miss it. They think you got to go up to the front door. Nope, you got to go park and head around. There's a little gate, fence gate. Just go out there, out in the back, and go downstairs in the back. That's where we teach, downstairs. It's a big room. So it's really nice. It works out nicely. So give me a call, 208-377-3790. And, folks, I don't want to have to do a rambling thing again, but maybe I will. And if you don't call me, I want you to give me a call, 208-377-3790. And also, and I hate doing this, but we're going to be doing this, I'll talk about the issue of support. See, CARM needs your support, and it needs your support because the expenses are going up, but the money's staying basically kind of flat. It's the income coming in, and it's not a complaint. That's just a reality. And so what's happening is we have less and less in our reserves. We're slowly in a sinking boat, and some things are going to have to, go by the wayside, unless what happens last year happens this year as well. And that's last year we had the end of year giving, and it really helped us out a lot. So we're hoping that that'll come through, and that people will just want to support CARM, and then that way we can support our guy in Brazil, our guy in Turkey, our guy in Colombia. I want to say Bolivia. Colombia. And I'll be going to Colombia in about 2.5 weeks for a whole week. And I will be, I'll be teaching 4 times. Then I also have to do a debate. And I'm supposed to get the information on what the debate's supposed to be this Friday. So I just hope we can do a conversation instead. It's just a lot easier. My Spanish is not quite good enough for debates. I don't know all the vocabulary. I'm pretty fast. What I do know, I can speak quickly, but I don't know all the vocabulary. So that's just what that is. And so anyway, I'll be back there. I think December 1st I'll be back. And so then a week later, we got my shindig birthday party. I'll be turning 60. Just before the show, I was talking to people behind the glass over there. And, Leanne and others, and we're talking. And I said, man, I can't believe I'm 60. Just about 60. And I said, I sure don't act 60. And they all go, yeah, that's right. I said, yeah, I act more like I'm 6. They got a kick out of it. Yeah, see, she just put up her fingers, 6. I have fun. And all my friends I'm old enough to be, all the people I hang around with, I'm old enough to be their dad. All of them. Or granddad in a couple cases. Yeah, that's it. But I don't look 60. Do I look 60? What, 58? Yeah. I don't know. My wife says I could pass for probably 50. What do you think? You could? Probably 50? How about 45? 47? I'm trying. Milk it as much as I can. So there you go. And, hey, we had the election yesterday. I don't know how many of you feel good about it. I feel good that Hillary didn't get in. I really was worried about her. She is, in my opinion, is not a true American. She doesn't want to uphold the Constitution. She wants to destroy our country. I believe that. I believe that's her desire, to do things that destroy the country in the name of Marxism and stuff. And I got some connections and some information I'll be talking about later, and some other stuff. I'm going to present some information that'll be interesting, hopefully. But I was surprised that Trump won. I was. But and the reason I was surprised is because, in my opinion, America's pretty much lost. It's the people are, there's people rioting right now, or they were, I think, last night or something like that in Oakland or something like that. And now high school students are protesting and not going to class. Just diaperinians. We didn't get what we wanted. Wah wah. Call them whannies. Wah wah. And I didn't vote for Trump, just so you guys know. I didn't vote for Clinton, that's for sure. But it's what it is. And people don't, they go out and riot, they don't get their way. This is the kind of people that are going to be moving into politics and into various jobs. They don't get what they want, so they riot, they burn things down, they destroy property. I mean, this is immoral and illegal, but they have no problem doing that because they didn't get what they wanted. This is the kind of people that is being bred here in America. Anyway, read 1984, Brave New World, and Fahrenheit 451. I've read all those novels. They're dystopian novels. If you want to get just a gist of what's going on, that's what I'd recommend. Also, Rules for Radicals. I'm going to be going through that, and I'm trying to find an original copy. An original copy. If anybody has an original copy, I need it. A first edition. And I'm not going to pay thousands of dollars. It's just there's something in it that I need to see. And that's what I'm hoping that'll, we'll see what happens. All right, folks, give me a call, 877-207-2276. And you can get in via Skype. Just type in carm.org. And, of course, if you want to get in direct line, all you got to do is type in 377-3790. And we got nobody waiting online right now, which is unusual. So I want you to give me a call. If you would consider supporting this show, we would really appreciate that because we do need the support. We've got a lot of money going out, and I'm going to be telling you about something we're going to be doing on Patreon, what's going on here. The people who we support in CARM in the other countries, they have to live. They've got to support families and things like that. And they don't make much out of Carm at all. One guy's been working with us for like 7 years, Carlos, and he lives in Bogota, Colombia. And I'll be flying down there to Barranquilla, which is the northern part of Colombia, in a couple of weeks. And, he's got a wife and kids and the whole bit and needs support. We've just raised his support a little bit here and there over the past few years, trying to get him enough to live so he doesn't have to move into just a dank kind of apartment someplace in the middle of nowhere. That costs. And then the guy in Turkey, the same kind of thing, and Brazil, the same kind of a thing. And so those are just some of the things that costs have gone up, and they just do. But the income for Carm hasn't really gone up. If you would consider supporting us, if you would consider, just supporting the show, for example, all you got to do is go to the Carm website, carm.org, and just on the homepage, there's a donate button. All you got to do is just sign up. We'd ask for anything you got that you would or feel interested in. We would love that. We really would appreciate it. Just ask that you would do that, because we need the support. All right, if you like the show, it'll stay on the air, hopefully. Mons, how are you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm doing okay, I guess.
Good. What do you got?
Another book that Bradbury wrote was Illustrated Man.
Yeah, that was an interesting. That was interesting. Yeah. I used to read a lot of sci-fi when I was younger.
Yeah, well, I thought about that because everybody's getting tattoos today.
Yeah. Illustrated Man, that's what that was. But, so you got a question, or usually you just have a comment? So what's up, man?
That's all I had.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I read the other books.
Yeah, they're good books, and one of them is actually written by an atheist, Aldous Huxley, Brave New World.
Oh.
And so I'm recommending people read it. Seriously, because they should read it.
A long time ago.
Yeah. Because they can start recognizing what's happening in our country. Just little bits here and there, Brave New World, Fahrenheit 451, getting rid of books, and those. In fact, in that, I think it was which one was it? I read them so long ago. I think it was 1984. They cut off the tops of crosses and made them into T's, and Model T was the thing that they kind of not worshipped, but at that time adored it. And owning a Bible was illegal. Things like that in these novels.
Like today, doesn't it?
It's getting there, yeah. And then you had propaganda style. It was really well written. The propaganda messages, and I forget which book it was. I think it was Brave New World, where you're told repeatedly to believe certain things. And, like, I don't know if it's an exact quote, but like, the state is good. Trust the state. Things like that. And all the stuff that isn't happening exactly the same way, but very, very similarly in our culture today. Yeah. Okay. So there you go.
Well, on the good news part, my daughter went over to Christian Supply and bought a Bible.
Good.
And a child's devotional.
And what?
A child's devotion book.
Okay. Is that for herself or for somebody else?
For my granddaughter.
Okay. Good.
And she took it to school today.
I guess that's good.
We'll see how that works out.
Oh, she'd probably get penalized and sent to the principal's office for having a Bible on campus. There's probably going to be two things illegal on campus, a Bible and a gun, and because both are equally dangerous to the leftists. We don't want to protect ourselves either physically or spiritually. Yeah. All right, big guy.
Okay, Matt.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Happy birthday.
Coming up. That's right. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
All right. Hey, folks, if you want to give me a call, all you got to do is dial 877-207-2276. And we'll get to Channing from CUNA here in a second. I'm teaching a Bible study tonight. If any of you are interested, we're going to be continuing through the Gospel of John, starting in chapter 3, verse 18. And if you are interested in attending, it'll be at 7 p.m. tonight. All you got to do is go to the Well Church, which is just near Albertsons at the corner of Cole and Fairview, near the mall there. And the church is going back tonight, 7 p.m. Wednesday night. Wednesday you'll be fine. That's where I'm teaching. Channing from CUNA, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine. Yeah, I love your show, Matt. Just great. I've been listening to you for like 2 weeks now, and I listen to you every day. I'm a truck driver, but I never miss it.
Oh, good.
We've got these Muslims coming in who hate Christians.
Yep.
They want to kill us. There's just no doubt. It's proven what they're doing, in the Middle East. What does the Bible say about protecting yourself? The difference between killing, I guess, and murder. I mean, I can't stand by and watch my family be butchered. I'm going to have to do something. Yeah, I mean,
better. Yep. Well, see, murder is the unlawful taking of life. Killing is the lawful taking of life. We have the right to defend ourselves and the innocent. And so we have the right to do that. So we can. Jesus said in Luke 22:36, he said, do you have a sword? They said, no, we have 2 cloaks. He said, sell a cloak and buy a sword. And so that's what Jesus said to do. Now, he wasn't saying go out there and be radical and go out there and hurt people. But most commentators just see that as a form of self-defense. Now, some people will say, no, it's just a metaphor. Really? Buy a sword is a metaphor? For what? These are the left. Well, too many times Jesus is presented as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Caucasian surfer Jesus, and he wouldn't hurt anybody. Dressed in a woman's nightgown, perfect complexion. He's a white guy, of course, and he's really polite. So he would never ask anybody to do anything other than just turn the other cheek, do nothing, be nice. That kind of image of Jesus has just helped a lot of Christians also do nothing, and so it's a real problem. Now, I happen to know that CUNA has a lot of Muslims that have been shipped in, right?
Yes.
Yep. And they're building a mosque there, aren't there?
Yes.
Yeah. And that means that I think when they're done, they're going to be doing that nice call to prayer in the middle of the night.
Yep.
And that's going to make a lot of people upset, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It already has.
Are they doing it now and making the noise?
Not that I know of, but I've spoken with a lot of people around there, and they're not happy about it. And I told them, talk to your city council and stuff. I go, you got to do something. People don't seem to want to do anything. They're just, they don't want to do anything. They don't want to speak up. I'm surprised this election went the way it was. Everybody's just so, they don't want to say anything. They've been so browbeaten from being called racist and homophobe and xenophobe and everything else. They don't want to do anything. They're afraid.
That's right. Because the left wants us silenced.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
That's right. And Christians aren't willing to do what's necessary anymore. That's
right.
So they're not being disciples of Christ.
Thank you. That makes me feel a lot better because, I was troubled over it, I don't want to be a murderer, but at the same token, I'm not going to stand by and watch my family or my friends, for that matter.
Right. I agree with you. And I know about Islam. I know what it teaches. It's an evil religion, and they are not. Now, most Muslims are a peaceful people. It's just the ones who take the Quran seriously. Those are the ones you got to be careful of.
Right. And, even the ones that, they don't speak up. So I've got to think, in the Quran it says, when you're in somebody else's country, be quiet until you've got numbers.
Right.
Then you stand up and start running for office and get in positions of power. Then you're pretty much through. They're not stupid people by no means.
No,
they might be 14th century living in the mules and stuff, but they're not stupid. They're working us our politicians are working them big time. They're smarter than they are. So it's scary.
Yeah, I know. It is scary. I'm with you.
All right. Thank you, Matt.
All right. Okay, Channing. God bless.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
You too.
All right. If you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. Let's get to Darren from Australia right away. Hey, Darren, how are you?
Hi there.
Hi.
It works. I just occasionally randomly listening on your show, and before you were saying you weren't having any callers, so I popped up on Skype and hello.
Well, thank you very much.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Sorry, the time zone things are a bit different for me at the moment.
That's all right. Now, you're a non-theist?
It's the most accurate way of putting it, I suppose, yeah.
Okay, so do you believe God exists or don't?
No.
Okay, so
depending on the context of how that sentence goes, given the difference in language between there and here.
Okay. Well, want me to quiz you, or you had a question for me?
I don't really. Congratulations on your talk with Matt Dillahunty, but I haven't been able to see all of it yet. Sorry about that.
So you've seen some of it?
Bits.
And what'd you think?
Basically, I haven't seen enough of it coherently.
Okay.
That's the problem. So,
Right.
yeah. Well, I get to watch bits and pieces on the shift, so, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Where did I leave it? And so you go back and you watch other bits you've seen before, and it's like, and yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, the ending is what's really interesting. Is he said, hey, why don't we just combine our 50-minute cross-examination period into a half-hour just talk? I'm like, yep, let's do it. So that's what I like to do, is have those kind of conversations. So I thought it would. Well, I don't know if he ever wants to debate me again, but I'd debate him again if it came up. But whatever, you know.
So I'm surprised by the video you weren't like, arms around each other's shoulders, putting on bad Irish accents, singing bad Scottish songs to the whiskey.
Well, yeah, I hear you. You know, actually, people get the wrong idea about me. They think I'm a real mean guy and stuff like that. On the radio, I'm just one way, and because of entertainment. When I was there after the debate with Dillahunty, we're in this bar in Texas there, and this girl came up and she said that when she had encountered me, she thought I was a real, and I can't repeat the words over the radio. And I'm laughing, and she said, but you're not like that. And I said, no, I'm not. She goes, I actually like you. And she said her husband just loves me, and he's an atheist. And they listen to me all the time. And I forgot their names. Otherwise, I'd say their names. But I go, yeah, I don't know what it is about over the radio. I guess I just come off real kind of cocky and confident, and people think I'm just super arrogant. I'm just arrogant, not super arrogant.
I like to say that to blokes at work. I'm not knowledgeable, I'm just opinionated.
Okay. So why do you not believe God exists?
Don't see any evidence for any of them.
So are you assuming that the evidence that you would look for God must be the same kind of evidence you might find in the ground or in a laboratory?
I don't see any evidence.
What would constitute any evidence for God's existence then?
Anything.
Anything? Like, say, somebody rising from the dead?
Right, and that hasn't happened.
How do you know it hasn't happened? It's recorded in the Gospels, eyewitness accounts.
No, that's book.
No. Well, you said there wasn't any evidence. That is some evidence.
No, that's book.
Oh, so if it's written in a book, it's not true?
Didn't say that.
But you said it's just a book. So what are you saying?
The source you're going by is just a book. Yeah.
It's just a book. That's
one
all it is.
reference. That's it.
That's all it is. So that's not counted as evidence at all?
That's all you've got. No, that's not
I didn't say that's all we got. I didn't say that's all we got. But you see, you do know that the Bible is written by the New Testament by the eyewitnesses, right?
No.
It wasn't? How do you know that?
No, you don't have any originals.
Okay. So, how do you know we don't have any originals?
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I know there's like the oldest manuscript is in a museum somewhere in Europe, and that only goes back to like the 9th century.
No, that's not correct. I can tell you that. Okay. That's way off. They actually think they possibly might have an original document, a fragment of an original, but there's no way to know. How would you know if it's really original? Okay, it's from the time and the place. It's that ancient. It's out of John, I believe, and they think it fits the criteria for being an original, but they don't know. There's no way to know. Okay, if you get my drift. So how would you know? Because John wrote this is original.
You just said you don't know.
No. I'm saying that the evidence that we have is very, very, very ancient. It's written in the 1st century.
And very slim. Because you don't know if it's... You just said you did not know.
Well, you're not hearing what I'm saying. The fragment may or may not be original. That's how far back it goes. When you say that it's the 900s, that's what the fragments are, or the copies are, that's not accurate.
I was just referring to what I vaguely remember of, like the oldest I remember the image of the show. It was showing this beautiful book under glass.
Yeah, well,
there's like fragments that may or may not be. So you're saying more nebulous than I am.
Okay, I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying. You said, I'll try it one more time. You said the oldest parts of the fragments or whatever was around the 800s or the 900s, if I heard you properly.
No, I said the oldest book that I can remember. Vaguely remember from shows. I said the image that is in my mind is this beautiful manuscript, like nice book under glass on display in the museum. And again, vague memory, maybe 900. I'm probably wrong about that.
Okay, what I was trying to show you was that the evidence is contradictory to that. Okay? For example, the John Rylands fragment has John 18, 31 through 33, verse 37, 37 and 38. And it was written probably no later than 96 AD, and they have a copy from 125 AD. The P46 is written...
Whoa. So they've got a copy of something that's 120 years after.
Okay, the original date of the writing. Let me show you something. You haven't studied any of this. Let me explain something to you, all right? Let me explain. In Greek, as in Hebrew, when you write letters, you're also writing numbers because the Hebrew letters are also numbers. The Greek letters are also numbers. So when you write one character, you're writing both a letter and a number. You with me so far?
Yeah.
So when you write a series of words, you're also writing a series of letters. A codex is a page, not a scroll. So what they would do with the scribes, when they would copy a document, scribes were highly trained copyists. They were called amanuenses, were secretaries. They had people whose job it was to copy things because not everybody could read, not everybody could write. So what they would do is they would take these documents, originals, and they would copy it letter by letter. Their reputation, their jobs depended on this. That's one of the jobs what they had back then. They didn't have Xerox machines. They didn't have copiers, photo editors. So they would copy these things. When they would copy one page as copied from another page, they would add up the letters, which are also numbers, on both sets. If they didn't match, then the new copy was discarded and they started over on that particular page. You with me so far?
Mm-hmm.
This is how it was done through the biblical documents. Of those biblical documents in the Greek, there's roughly 5,800 various Greek manuscripts. Original writing was in Greek. Roughly 5,800 of them, which are scattered around the Mediterranean area, anywhere from roughly the year 100 to the year, 800, something like that. So several hundred years where various copies were made all over. Got 5,800 different manuscripts. Do you know that when they uncover these, when they compare them, the accuracy between all of them combined, when they look to see what's identical, is close to 100%. It's like 99.98% textually identical in all the documents. Did you know that?
Right.
Okay. Now, if they're all over the Mediterranean area, copied at different times, and the accuracy is almost 100%, then do you think it's reasonable to say we have accurate copies of the originals?
Oh, yes. That's cool.
Okay. Well, that's what the facts are. Now, the book of Acts was written, we'll date it here really quickly. You see, the book of Acts does not contain the death of Peter or Paul, which occurred roughly in the early 60s, 60 AD, 61, actually 63, 64, 65, 66. There's a little bit of debate, but right about there. Now, the book of Acts is a book of history. It records the death of Stephen in Acts chapter 7 and other things. Really important thing. It's a history book. But it does not contain the super significant deaths of Peter and Paul, nor does it contain the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, which is prophesied by Jesus. Why do you think it doesn't contain those things, but it does contain other historical markers? Why do you think that might be the case?
Dumb luck of what survived the centuries.
How about it was written before the events occurred? That's why they didn't record them. The book of Acts was written before.
So that's two ideas.
That makes sense, doesn't it? It's written before
So
the fact.
dumb luck of surviving the centuries.
Okay, no, not talking about dumb luck. We're talking about...
No, you said why do we only have those bits? And we agreed that these things are 2,000 odd years old, give or take.
You're not listening.
And so, over that time, the other explanation is, this is all that survived.
No, you're not listening. You're doing something else, aren't you?
No.
Well, I'm giving you the facts, man. The book of Acts doesn't contain the historical markers, most probably because it was written before those historical events occurred. That's why. Real simple. So if the death of Peter and Paul were in 62 to 64 AD, that range, that means that the book of Acts logically was written before then. So if it's written before then, let's just say 60 AD. That's when the book of Acts was written. A lot of people don't know. Luke, the gospel writer of Luke, wrote the book of Acts. He also wrote the book of Luke before the book of Acts. Just go read the first couple verses of each book, Luke and Acts, and you'll see. So if Acts was written around 60 AD, and Luke was written before that, let's just say 5 years before it. Okay, just nice round, easy number. That would be about 55 AD. The book of Matthew, most scholars agree, written before the book of Luke. Let's say another 5 years. That's 50 AD. Mark was written before Matthew. Another 5 years. Let's say 45 AD. Jesus was crucified in 33 AD. That's 12 years. So the disciples were still around when these things were being written. And they were accurately copied and transmitted to us. You say there's no evidence. See, evidence is a concept. Evidence is an abstraction. If there's a footprint someplace...
No, the word is the abstraction. If I'm remembering right.
No, evidence is an abstraction. Let me explain. If you have a footprint in a forest, is that evidence that aliens exist? Depends on the footprint.
No, it's an indentation in the ground. Okay. And then from what the indent is, you extrapolate what made indent.
And then once you extrapolate and you have a theory, then you see if it fits a certain criteria and it becomes evidence.
No, but the indent is the evidence. Evidence is the word.
You don't understand what I'm saying. It becomes evidence once it fits a certain set of criteria. You have evidence for something. A footprint in the dirt someplace in China is not evidence that I love my wife.
If you've done a marathon to China for your wife, then maybe it does.
Okay, so it's not evidence. Okay, hold on. It's not evidence that I love my wife. It's evidence that someone made a footprint over there. So it becomes evidence when it meets the criteria for what I want or what I need.
No.
Yes, it does. It's not evidence that I love my wife, is it?
It's an imprint in the dirt.
I got you. The imprint in the dirt is not evidence that I love my wife, is it?
No. But
okay, there you go.
Imprint is evidence
of something
that
else.
You can study the imprint, hence it becomes evidence.
There you go. It becomes evidence when you examine it. Exactly.
No.
Yes, there you go. You already said it's not evidence that I love my wife. So you see, evidence is a concept. It's an idea. Something becomes evidence when it meets a certain set of criteria.
So your definition behind the evidence.
Your set of criteria for evidence is so restrictive that God can't be found in your life because you won't allow any evidence. You say there isn't any evidence, but you don't know if there is any evidence. You don't know all things. You're just defining it out of existence because it's a conceptual thing that you, by definition, don't allow. See, the problem
is... When people tend to say, I'm closed-minded, I tend to come back with a naughty word.
Well, I think you're closed-minded, but don't say a naughty word over the radio. See,
exactly.
You think that God, or it appears to me, that you think God needs to show himself to you in an evidential manner. And that's just not how it works. See, God is not corporeal, but you want a footprint. God's
if God's not corporeal, how do you detect it?
You can see that he is a necessary precondition for all kinds of things. That without
No,
him,
I can't.
yes, you can.
Sorry.
Without
No,
him,
I can't.
Uh,
Or I
yes,
should
you-
be there.
Really? Okay, let me ask you a question then. Are there any such things as moral absolutes?
No.
Okay, so let me ask you a question then. I'm going to give you a statement. Tell me if the statement is true or if it's not true. Okay? You ready?
I'll give it a go.
It's always wrong to torture babies to death merely for one's personal pleasure. True or false? It's always wrong to torture babies to death merely for one's personal pleasure. It's always wrong for anyone, okay? Always wrong for anyone to torture babies to death merely for their personal pleasure. Is that true or false? Are you there?
I don't get true or false as opposed to wrong or right.
Is it true or false? The statement. Statements are either true or false. I'm talking to you. That's true. I'm a man. That's true. I have a laptop in front of me. That's true. I'm pregnant. That's false. I'm living in Australia. That's false. Statements are either true or false. That's called the third law of logic, or the law of excluded middle. A statement is either true or it's not the case that it's true. So I'm talking to you. That's true. It is always wrong for anyone to torture babies to death merely for their personal pleasure. It's either true or it's not true. Well, which is it?
So, by the literal, what you said, it's true.
All right, so if it's true, what you're saying is that there's a universal moral absolute applicable to everybody.
No, that's not what I said.
Yes, it is.
I said your statement
It's true. And it's
No,
always
no,
wrong
no,
for
no,
anyone.
is true.
It's always wrong for anyone to do this. That means it's a universal moral absolute. And you said it's true.
No.
Yes, you did.
You said
You said it was true
it's always wrong.
for anyone to torture babies to death merely for their personal pleasure. You said it's true. It's always wrong. So you believe in moral absolute.
No, I haven't. I've given you my opinion.
Your opinion is that there's a moral absolute.
No. You asked
Yes.
true or false.
The statement is true, so therefore you're believing in a moral absolute because it's a moral statement. It's always wrong to torture babies to death merely for one's personal pleasure. From anyone to do that. So you believe, your opinion is there's a universal moral absolute.
No, I don't.
Yes.
No, that's projecting forward.
Okay, take your right hand and put it in front of your face for a second. Would you do that for me? Can you do that?
Okay, yeah.
So look to your left. Okay, you're looking at your left. Now slap yourself upside the head.
Doesn't work. That's an oldie but a goodie. Take two matches out of the matchbox, hold them on onto the matchbox, and then pop the matchbox out from between your fingers. It doesn't work. Stop doing that in high school.
So the thing is that you have already admitted there's a moral absolute. So there's a...
No, I gave you my opinion based on the statement.
Your opinion is that the statement's true. And the statement is a
Yeah.
moral absolute. So your statement is that there's a moral absolute. It's called the law of proper inference. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. So you believe that it's always wrong for anyone.
No. You asked me the true or false on that statement.
Yes, you said the statement's true, that it's always wrong for anyone to torture babies to death merely for their personal pleasure. Therefore, your opinion is it's always wrong for everyone to do that. So therefore, your opinion
For their
is...
own personal pleasure.
Yeah. So
Which is
your
not to say that actually happens.
Okay, so you're saying that there's a moral absolute for everybody.
No.
Yes, you are.
Because not everyone follows that, and we know that.
Well. It didn't say whether they follow it or not. I want you to think.
There you go.
The issue is the statement true? Now, I'm just showing you that your atheism...
The statement may be true or false, but that doesn't mean it matches reality.
Ah, brother. So what I've done is shown you that you are self-contradictory. I've exposed that here on the radio. You're still trying to hold a position that's irrational. Now,
I haven't given you a position.
Yes.
I've given you an answer to a statement.
Your position is the statement's true. The statement is that it's always wrong for everyone to do a certain thing. So that's your position.
No,
it's true. So wait, your position
true or false
it's
on
true.
Your statement.
So
That's where we were.
So it's true. So your position is that the statement's
Your
true?
Statement, my response, answer is true.
So this is great. So your statement or your position is that the statement's true.
No.
It's not.
My
You just said it was true.
Of the options of true or false, to your
It's true.
statement is true.
Okay, so your position is the statement's true.
No. My answer to you
Oh, it must be an Australian
of
thing.
the two options, which you gave was true or false, is
Yeah.
true to the statement.
Yeah.
And as we've agreed, statements don't necessarily match reality.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know, it was nice playing. But it's just, this is a great segment because what you've done is very well exhibited the illogic that atheists show a lot. Okay, I really appreciate that. So we have about a minute left of the show, so what I'm going to do is get going and do the closing. But call back tomorrow. Yeah, it was fun. Call back tomorrow, okay? We can talk some more.
Probably not. I'll be asleep at this time tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, wow, it's late.
Yeah. Well, what time is it there right now?
10 in the morning here, and I've been up since 3 yesterday.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, I'm a bit zoning. Yeah.
That's all right. Oh, maybe I'll explain.
Probably not batting my best average.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, Darren. Thanks a lot, man. All right.
Yeah, have a good one.
Me too. All right, that was Darren from Australia, and folks, I hope that was very illustrating-ish of what bad thinking is. Now, maybe he's a little tired, but he was consistently inconsistent. Let's just say that. Folks, look, I'll be teaching a Bible study tonight. If you're interested in attending, it'll be at the Well Church at 1400 North Cole Road. 1400 North Cole Road, 1400. That's next to the Albertsons there at Cole and Fairview. Just go in the back of the church downstairs, behind the gate there downstairs. I know it's dark and spooky, and there's 8-foot-long spiders and all kind of stuff like that. No, just go downstairs. Come on in the back, and that's where we'll be tonight. May the Lord bless you by His grace. We'll be back in the studio tomorrow. Hope to talk to you then. We'll see you. Bye.
Want more? Go online now to carm.org. CARM, the Christian Apologetics Research Ministry. Read Matt's articles on hundreds of topics. Enroll in up to 3 online schools which will take you to the next level and beyond in your knowledge of the Christian faith, theology, apologetics, and critical thinking. Interact on the forums. Download past radio shows, interviews, and debates. And for a limited time, request a free book specially chosen by Matt Slick. That's carm.org. We'll see you next time on Matt Slick Live.